bags are packed, are you ready to go? This time tomorrow we'll be on the road, riding with you in the sunnier days. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Children of Éarte. We are so excited to have you on this, our 30th episode of Children of Éarte, as well as our finale for 2022. So without further ado, Adam with our sponsors.
Our incredible sponsors. We have Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can pick up a chest code, an Electrum chest code, on the overlay or bouncing around in chat. Thanks so much for all the support over this entire year of 30 episodes, Idle Champions. We also have Die Hard Dice, who has supplied, let's see, what are we on? We are on W, I believe. And so they have supplied our cast with Wisdom Wickers. Wisdom Wickers.
Wickers.
See, now I want to go light a candle.
Wielders? Wisdom wielders? Oh,
I don't know. I don't
know that
question
word.
Marcus Riedner.
We
because
should.
They have supplied
We shouldn't.
quite the list here. So
He got one of those candles that has a D20 inside of it, and that was just
makes all
It also
the sense.
wicks the wisdom from you, just
Yeah, that's it.
as if it were liquid.
That's it. Everyone is Googling wick and definition and all that right now. But they have supplied our cast with those wisdom wickers, and you can grab your own set of Die Hard Dice or 10 sets because it is the holiday season and you may have people who need those, and you can grab 10% off your purchase with the code Éarte. And we will also be giving away, I believe it's a $20 gift card for Die Hard Dice. And that's going to be happening in chat as well. So pay attention to all the prompts there and you can enter to win. And good luck with that. And finally, tonight, you will hear the dulcet tones of Sirenscape because epic games need epic sound. I am Adam Bradford and I'm the CDO at Demiplane. We have many things going on. We're trying really hard to push through the end of the year here. We've got a closed alpha for our Pathfinder character tools that are happening possibly this week. So invites, first wave of invites probably going out this week. So if you're interested in that, you can pay attention to all of our channels and check out how you might get signed up for the alpha and possibly get an invite to that. And tonight, I am playing for the final time this year, Silas Jordan, your dimensionally displaced magical superfan.
Who's looking very emo tonight?
I don't know. He's got something in his eye. Yeah.
Something in his heart.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Alicia Marie. You can find me everywhere on socials at Alicia Marie Body, and I am a creative artist and costumer, and I'm finishing up the last 2 projects of the year, so I'm celebrating because I plan to sleep and catch up on my RPG stuff and eat, and I'm gonna take my phone and turn it off and throw it in the river. Tonight I'm playing Fairuza Armstrong, Door Slinger.
Yes. Fairuza Door Slinger Armstrong.
Attorney at law.
Attorney at law. Boy, it's
Attorney
getting
at law.
longer and
Right,
longer.
right.
Yeah.
It's a new
Right, that
subclass.
too.
Yeah.
I want an attorney at law subclass. I want
Oh, I
that
was
to be a
thinking
bard
door slinger,
subclass.
but now I kind of want them both.
Door Slinger.
Hello, my name is Jen Kretchmer. You can find me on the social medias as @DreamWisp. You can find me streaming on Twitch as DreamWispJen. I do all sorts of stuff. But tonight I am playing your friendly neighborhood troublemaker, Maeve Morgan Flynn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the content coordinator over at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. I'm on the socials as Oba Lauren, which is the best way you can find out about a bunch of different charity games I got coming up. I have a lot of them, so I'd appreciate it if you kind of follow along because they're all for excellent causes. But tonight, the only cause that I care about is Neb getting into this room and finding out what's going on in this room that is really, really burnt.
Hi, everybody. My name is Hope LaVelle. You can follow me on Twitter at the Hope LaVelle. And today, I happened to stumble upon the cutest little shop. And inside that shop, I found an RPG joke book. And I'm going to read to you a little joke.
Come on.
There's like 300 jokes in here, you guys, and they all slay. They're all
And they're all RPG?
Yes, they're all RPG.
I am
It's
so
good.
excited.
All right, we'll start
What
with
is this book?
We're
It's
in
called
for it.
Let's.
A Dragon Walks Into the Bar.
Oh my god!
Oh
Jeff Aldridge and John Taylor. So
Okay, anyone out there, I want this for Christmas.
Done.
Oh my god,
Done.
that's hilarious.
So here's your jokes for the day. All right, here it goes. What's the leading cause of death among RPG characters?
I
What
don't know,
is the-
Hope.
Yeah, what is the leading death among RPG characters?
RPG players.
The zingers. It's the zingers.
And on that note, tonight I am
That's
playing your
awesome.
ever so funny Miss Robin Beckett.
Oh boy, with that ominous note, what kills RPG characters? I do is really the answer to that. I am Deborah Ann Woll. I am your storyteller for this evening. Thank you, players, and our producer Josh and everyone at home for being here today. Please get comfortable, grab something warm and cozy as we begin the 13th chapter of Children of Éarte. So in our last chapter here, you all were exploring the town. You made your way through the cemetery and then in through the back of the mayor's house, Stephen Hawkins' house. While you were there, you overheard that one of the master sort of bedrooms upstairs had been burnt to a crisp, and the museum is not quite sure what happened there, but they have barred it off. So having, fought another one of these strange ice creatures, ice humans, you made your way towards that door, which had a big sign that said, "Do not enter, very dangerous. You will all die here," and had 3 iron bars placed across it. But door slinger Fairuza opened that door anyways, and as you looked into this room, it was completely burnt. Every wall, every drapery, everything, the fabric was gone, everything burnt and charred to a crisp. It is quite a large space. The soot on the windows doesn't allow for very much light to come in. However, as you are glancing around this room, there is one thing that catches your eye. A small piece of paper lying on the floor in the center of the room, unburnt.
I'd like to go take a look at it, please.
Yes. You slip through the bars.
Sure.
You slip through the bars. As soon as you put weight on that floor,
Oh.
under your foot, as you feel it sort of slide a little bit lower in, beneath you, it is a very unstable floor.
Yeah, those of you who are not quite as small and lithe might not want to come in here.
I was going to follow you, but I'll give you a little bit of a head start just in case. If that's okay.
Wee bit unstable in here. Just a wee bit. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's not ice, so if we fall, it'll only be a story instead of freezing cold water. It'll be fine.
Well, forgive me, but this has Neb Rat sort of written all over it.
No, in fact,
Wait,
it has, and I'm going to look at it and read it out loud, written all over it.
So you walk over to the small piece of paper.
Yes, please.
All right. Give me real quick a dexterity check.
Check or save?
Check. Just because you're being careful, I assume, as you go over.
Be careful.
16.
A 16. Every time you transfer weight from one foot to another, you feel those boards creak and bend under your weight. You are smart enough, however, to try and estimate where the cross beams are so that you can step on something, and you a number of times feel cracks under your heel where you just placed it wrong, but you're able to kind of move your weight to stay on those boards. But it is going to be a precarious walk back. However, you get over to this small piece of paper. And Josh, you can share it with everyone. It is a ticket. It looks exactly like the one that you received. However, this one has no name.
What?
Well, that's strange.
What, Maeve?
What?
What
What's
is it?
strange?
Did it have your name written on it?
What is that?
No one's name written on it.
So
Like
it's
the
up
person's
grabs.
named no one.
No, is it not the Odyssey style. It's just it's a blank ticket.
It's a
Platform
blank
3.
ticket? Why does it
Platform
sound so
As you
odd?
take a look at it, it's quite stained and old. The paper feels brittle. However, it is not burned. And the floor beneath where this ticket lies is burnt to a crisp. This is sort of strangely undamaged.
All right, and I think I see words written on the edge, but they're cut off.
What?
You see some words,
Just-
Maeve?
It looks like we'll see. We'll come back to that. I'm just trying to compare it to my own. And
While you're
see if
in
there's
there, is there
something-
anything else in the room that is going to possibly kill you?
we all look at Silas like, okay.
Well, the floor for sure.
I'll stick my head just through the bars just to give another look around while she's focused on the ticket, just to see, is there anything? If Maeve is looking at the floor, I'm kind of ceiling, walls. What else?
Give me a perception check. Unless you'd like me to do it.
+5, please.
Okay. So you're looking through. The first thing you notice is there is a fireplace, but it's oddly not as damaged as the other areas of the room. So you have this feeling that the fire didn't start in the fireplace. In fact, the worst of the burning seems to be right smack dab in the center of the room, and it gets less kind of as it moves out. Other than that, you're not a fireman, a firefighter. You don't really know exactly how to determine more than that, other than that the majority of the damage is centralized, and you don't think that this fire started in the fireplace.
And there's no movement. There's no other creatures, people. Okay.
Nothing. You get that, that scent of burnt wood a little bit still on the air, even in the cold. But it looks very, very dormant. It's been like this for a long time.
Maeve, from here, it kind of looks like the fire started there.
From the ticket.
I mean, I don't know if the ticket was there before or
Or
after,
from this
but
spot.
from that spot, like it looks the worst there. Like someone started a bonfire there.
As you look, Maeve, it is. It's like literally under your feet. It looks the worst as anywhere. You can see holes where the wood has been kind of burnt through and is barely, you're trying to support yourself as best you can, but this is the epicenter.
Be careful with that.
Is there
floor.
anything else in that spot? Is there anything under the ticket or nearby? Matches? No.
Nothing.
Okay.
This room, in fact, as you look at it now, it looks like it's been kind of cleaned up.
Okay.
So this room was part of the tour, we can assume. Yes? No?
I mean, it seems like it's been barred off for a while. No.
I mean, whoever the statistic person is that put us through this cave puzzle and all the shenanigans and hijinks that had to happen there, they've obviously come back here and made this equally as hard. Like the ticket probably didn't explode. Whatever else exploded, that's probably going to kill us too. And then they came back to be cute and put the ticket right where it started.
So the ticket
May I
is
flip
like
the
bait
ticket
or something?
over?
Yeah.
Is there anything on the back?
As you look at the back, no. I mean, there's a little bit of like, security modeling, but no, there's no writing or anything on the back.
And there's nothing else it looks like in the room that I can see?
It looks like it's been really cleared. Unless it was burned and dangerous, it's been taken out.
It's a clue. Somebody planted it.
I just want to know who the ticket was meant for. Maybe there's another 6 Jackson to our Jackson 5. You know what I mean?
Well, I never thought about it that way, but you're absolutely right. And what you said, Silas, makes a lot of sense, even though you're cribbing me out a little bit today. I don't know why, but you are.
That
But
feels
what you
a little
said makes a
rude,
lot of
but
sense.
okay.
I'd like to get back out of the room if I can.
Give me a
Retracing my steps.
dexterity check, please. If you're going to
Step
retrace your
carefully.
steps, go ahead and give me an advantage.
17.
17. Okay. Remembering exactly where you placed your feet and remembering the mistakes that you might have made the first time around, you follow that same path back. Again, you hear those little creaks, and knowing that if your foot went just an inch off, it'd probably go right through the floorboards. But you make it back to the bars, bend down, slide yourself through, and you're back safe in the hallway.
Once we're back in the hallway, does everyone have their tickets?
Yeah.
I
I
don't.
got mine in my
Somewhere.
bag.
You do? Do we have our tickets?
Can we compare this to everyone else's?
I think you're the only one that can answer that, Fairuza.
I'm the only one that can answer the question.
You
I
have
can
your
answer the question as to whether you have your ticket or not.
Oh, I can't remember all these.
Fairuza,
pieces.
you're the main character. Didn't you know?
She's looking through. She's like, wait. I guess I do have it, but why would I have it on me like this? Is weird.
So
Because
yeah,
put
when
it
you
in your
all,
pocket.
yeah, when you all put them away on the very
Yeah.
first day, they're probably still in your
your
bag,
pocket.
in your pocket where you left it. So yes, each of you can take out your tickets and take a look at them. And Josh, if you'd like to share a couple of those with people. As you begin to pull them out, you notice, like Maeve, that there is some strange figures and things around the edges.
Oh, we got to put this stuff together.
Oh, how exciting.
It's like a literal puzzle, right?
What?
I hate puzzles.
Love them.
Hey, at least this is only 6 pieces, so that
Yeah, and
shouldn't
we
be
don't
too
have
hard.
to, scale 30,
Yeah.
40 feet and possibly fall to our death. So I guess we have a leg up here in this place.
So
Oh.
in the hallway, you put all of your tickets down on the floor on the old vintage rug that's been laid runner down the middle of the hallway and begin to move the pieces around, looking for patterns that match. After, a short while, Josh, would you please show us the tickets all together, please?
And as that happens, Neb will comment, apparently this typewriter had a bad E. See that?
Oh no! What happened?
And there
Well,
you
all the
are.
E's. Oh.
Oh, well,
Where
wait.
river the grave? Where the
Cyrus-
river grave?
You were right.
Where the river meets the old grave.
Well, that's where we were, is it not?
That was where we were.
Should we go back there?
I don't know about that.
Where
Unless-
the river meets. Huh.
Where
There was a gravestone there, wasn't there?
Where?
Big one.
But
Maybe
where does
it's-
old end up?
river?
Maybe it's where the old meets the river grave.
Where the old grave meets the river.
Maybe Robin and I need to go out to the river.
What? Why just me?
Well, no, I said me too. I mean, we're definitely the oldest here.
Okay.
Where the old meets the river grave.
Oh, jeez. I hope we're not on the wrong track with this, you guys.
Unless it's where the old grave meets the river, and then we're not talking about people being old, we're talking about graves being old.
Oh, where the
Or the old river meets the grave.
That's what I was
where
Lots
the
of
I mean,
options
river-
there.
either way, we probably need to go out to the cemetery, and it's probably getting dark about now. So this
Where
is
the river
perfect
meets
for our movie type setting.
meets grave old. Okay.
Robin.
Robin's working on her next stand-up act.
Exactly. She's making her. She's like, where meets river old?
Well, I mean, Silas has a point. I think any way you put these words together, we're either putting an old river or an old grave, and we're having them meet.
There's a
and-
river and a grave.
Yeah.
That's
We don't know which
exactly
is
where we're
older, but one of them.
This is just
you guys
like
see
I'd
a
venture
grave
the
at
river
river?
was older, but that's just a guess.
Well, then let's go back there and see. I mean, this could be like a geocache and then a little thing inside with a note, and you have to hide it inside. It's great. And Robin's gonna
That
start
would
heading
be-
out.
All right. Robin starts going down the steps.
I'll follow.
Back down into the foyer. Some of the animatronics begin to move again, but there's no sound because Silas disabled that with his ripped all the wires out. Robin leading the way as you head out the back door into the cold. It is indeed dark. The sun is just cresting the top of that hill. You can see the last vestiges of light are beginning to leave, and it is quite a bit colder. There's now that very tight chill in the air, sharp inside of your lungs, as you turn back towards the cemetery. As you all follow your steps, a light snow begins to fall, soft, but again, very quickly begins to fill in and obscure your footprints behind you. You come back into that cemetery and back to that old grave with the little vase at the side where Fairuza saw her flowers. Here, the river does indeed come quite close. There's about 5 feet between the river and that old grave.
Is the grave close to the river or away from, is the headstone closer or is the grave closer?
The headstone is closer. It is facing away from the river.
Fairuza, hopefully that means we don't actually have to dig this up.
Robin's gonna check the back of the grave, the stone, the grave.
Yeah, the back of the stone. Check it for what? What are you looking for? Kind of thing.
First words, and then if not, kind of checking where the grass or the ground meets the
Okay.
grave.
So you're feeling the back of it and
feeling
checking
it.
the bottom. Great. Yeah. Give me let's do a perception check for that. I feel like that's more sensory.
Can
wanna
I
help?
help out with that
Yeah.
by starting to sweep away the snow?
Yeah. What's your wisdom modifier?
+3. Just like clearing a path for her.
All right, so that would be a 21.
21. So as you begin to feel the back of the stone, you do feel like, this was hand chiseled. This is such an old stone that machinery was not used for this. This was, hand chiseled down. And there's this big piece of it that's missing and fallen off to the side, but you don't feel like there were any words or anything written on the back. Here and there, you can maybe even still feel like the teeth of the chisel as you run your fingers over it. As you come down to the ground and clear some of the snow, as Neb helps you, sort of makes, space for that. The ground is, again, it's hard with the frozen, space here. There's almost, no grass as you get down to the bottom level. If there is any, it's yellowed and matted and, been under snow now for who knows how long, weeks, months. So yeah, it feels like difficult earth to dig in.
So are we about to just dig up a grave? Is that what we're doing here?
I don't know if that's proper.
I have a strange
I don't
question.
think being stuck here is proper.
Have we, it talks about being subject to the rules and regulations of the Northland Heritage Line. Have we seen those rules and regulations?
They might be in your pamphlet that you got at the beginning of the trip. You did sign some waivers for some of the more dangerous excursions that you would be on, so you can't hold them liable in the event of your death or injury. But if Fairuza wants to take a look at them, later, she can give you a good idea of how standard procedure they are.
Yeah. Always read the fine print.
I'm going to follow. We've been clearing the snow kind of on
Yes.
the other side of this stone, and I want to go down. I basically want to do the same perception check, as it were, from the river up. Is there anything
Absolutely.
along the water edge?
Yeah, give me a perception check. Unless you want me to do it.
Robin is there. She'll see what she's doing and kind of help.
Great. You were a +3, you said, for your perception? Or
+5.
+5. And then Robin,
nice.
what's your wisdom modifier?
+2.
Okay. Neb, as you go down there and as Robin sort of hops down with you too, there's a little bank, right? So the river runs by and you kind of hop back down. There's like a 2-foot bank. And there you can see some of the old grass and things and roots that are sort of growing out through here. And as you feel this side. This is much warmer. The running of the water, the protection from the grass. If the top foot of the dirt over by the grave was frozen solid, down here a little lower, it's softer.
Well, should I start digging? At least this isn't technically a grave, so we don't have to worry.
Hey, do you think you can turn into like an anteater or something? That like
What?
I don't know what digs well. I don't know what animals dig well.
Moles, rabbits.
Oh, a mole. That makes sense.
Wait, did I leave my little shovel when I threw it at Steve?
I thought you had taken it. I just don't know if you have it here.
I always keep it in my bag if I still have it.
He walked out and you guys were still there. I could buy you collected your thing.
Robin will just hand the little hand shovel to her.
Okay.
That's so cute.
I don't want to. This is your moment, kid.
I think it's all of our moments. I'll make sure no one's
Grave
standing
digging.
on
Or
top. And then
grave adjacent digging. The moment I've been training for all my life.
You'll have to tell me later how you've trained for this, but here we go. And
Grave digging adjacent. All right.
I'm not going to try to go deep,
Okay.
because I'd assume there's like a 5, 8, 10 foot of what could be like a direct line. So she'll get in a good foot or so, and then like go to the right a little bit, and then go to the left and start looking for anything.
Yeah. So, placing yourself so that essentially you are directly behind the gravestone. There's about 5 feet between this bank that you are standing next to, your feet sinking into some slushy mud at the edge of this water, and the back of the stone where you and Robin had been looking earlier. So yes, with your little spade, your little hand shovel, you begin to pick away at some of the dirt. And indeed, it is hard. That top foot is really frozen solid. But down here, once you get past the first couple of inches, it's coming away pretty easy. In fact, it's kind of wet and muddy. Very quickly, your hands are getting kind of covered with mud, and the splatter that comes back over your face and clothes. It's cold, wet mud. Everything begins to tremble a little bit. But within a few minutes, you've gone in a few inches.
And besides the change in the topography, there's nothing else?
Yet, no.
Nothing.
Well, it's miserable, that's for sure, but I haven't noticed anything. I could keep going closer to the stone.
Silas is going to start just kind of, Silas is going to just start kind of going out and trying to pay attention to the horizon.
Okay.
He's just going to float his ring, and it's glowing, really bright, like almost yellow orange light. And he's just going to start slowly kind of moving it across, trying his best to hope that as he moves it to one place that there's not like a zombie staring at him, in that, but he is watching for anything like that.
Fantastic. So Silas, you are on guard. You are on alert. We'll definitely keep that in mind. And as you're doing that, and you notice the sun has now fully set, and this darkness has taken over. It's really quite unsettling. With the snow falling and a cloudy night, the clouds are across the moon, so you're getting a very muted light. And I'm actually going to pitch to you guys. I'd like to call this semi-darkness. So I'd like to pitch a homebrewy space that's like somewhere between dim light and darkness, duskish. Yeah. So somewhere in between. I'm going to say that if you do not have dark vision within 15 feet, you're fine. You can deal with all of that as if it's regular light. But outside of that, I'd like to do both disadvantage on perception checks relying on sight as well as disadvantage on attacks. So make it a little bit trickier once they're not right there where your eyes have adjusted. And then those of you with dark vision, we can extend that range to 30. Sound cool? Just make it a little creepier, a little harder to see things in the darkness. So yes, Silas, as you're moving your light around, which gives you extra, will emit more light, giving you a little bit more range to see. The stark shadows from your light that are cast over these gravestones creates all these little places where things could hide. And, you're keeping your eye out, moving this ring around and trying to make sure you're seeing every nook and cranny. But just beyond the edge of that light, the town is just dark and disappears in that blackness.
This is the
Well-
worst vacation ever.
I mean, it's appropriate, right? Here we are digging near a grave. It has to be dark, right?
Do we see the flames from Steve continuing to?
Way off that way. Give me an advantage perception check.
You can make that.
I can make
please.
that for you. What is it?
0.
You do not. The snow is falling quite heavily, and there are quite a few buildings between you and the space, and that's really pretty far away now.
We're fools.
What do you mean, Maeve?
Where the river
Rude
meets the
again.
old grave. Bank. It's a bank.
Oh,
my
river
goodness.
Hey, we're gonna get to break into the bank you wanted to break into.
The word for where this part of the.
We're
We could have dug
on.
here for hours. We probably
digging
wouldn't have found
graves.
anything. It's a bank.
So we need to go to the bank,
Let's do it.
and someone's
Oh,
going to
let's do it.
explain what you're talking about on our way there.
I'm gonna wipe off Robin's shovel and hand it back and say, thank
Sorry.
you. That was helpful.
Let's get out of here.
Hopefully,
Why do we think this
flowers
is a
are
bank?
in the cards soon. I'm not going to try and think about how you were digging in what's probably the rotted decay of corpses and all sorts of wonderful things.
We'll go slow. We'll make sure that we keep an
Yeah.
ear, eye, everything out for things that we're gonna get close to and
Yeah.
attack from distance, right? That was all you, Maeve. That was what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
Thank
though.
you before we completely
From
desecrated
distance.
it.
So
Yeah.
I am so
Grandparents?
confused right now. Like, what are we celebrating? Like,
The fact that we don't have to dig up a grave, Silas.
But how do we know that? Like, we're just guessing. Is there even a bank here in this town?
Yep. There is. We didn't.
And why do we
we
say
got
it's a
it.
bank? Walk me through that one more time.
because the place where the river meets the grave, that part
Okay.
of the area of the river is called the bank, the river bank.
Perfect.
And we've already
the
encountered a
bank
lot
of
of
the river.
wordplay, so
Mhm.
this sounds correct.
It sounds right.
Also,
It
we get to break
sounds
into
like
a bank
reach
now.
to me, but I'm fine with not digging up a grave. So.
Never, Silas, you're the only person who's probably broken into a bank of all of us. So you
It's
should be the most
true.
excited about
This ain't gonna be hard to break into this bank. There ain't even anybody here.
Good, then show us how it's done, Silas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So since I didn't know there was a bank here, where is it?
It's actually right next to the mayor's house, right next to Stephen Hawkins' house. It's between the cemetery and Hawkins' house.
It's right there.
It's right there. You can see it from where you stand as you move your ring over there.
Well, all right. Let's just go in the front door. I mean, nobody's home.
Oh, just a moment, you guys, just a moment. And Robin's gonna look at her hand shovel, and she's gonna reach into her bag, kind of dig around for a second, and you hear these little. She has a bag of daffodil seeds, and she's just going to kind of create a little through the snow in the front of this grave.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna dig a little hole right about shovel length deep.
Yes.
That's exactly what she's supposed to do. And she's just gonna throw a couple daffodil seeds in. She's gonna pat them in. There we go. Maybe one day those will grow and we'll have something colorful here.
Is
I
this
always like
I
to-
hope we're not here that long.
Very sweet.
It might be fun to come
But
back.
we're not
to.
planning on moving in.
Just leaving my mark, that's all. Let's go.
Robin is the Johnny Appleseed of daffodils.
They grow great in the winter,
They have to hibernate underneath there. All right, so you're heading off towards the bank. All right.
Yes.
Trying to.
Can I pull out let me see if I have a headlamp or something similar to help in
Help
the
with some
darkness.
extra light.
Yeah, I know I have flashlights, but and
I know I can light up my hand, but that's a pretty
Pretty small.
close
Yeah.
light. Yeah,
Doesn't
and
get
Neb
you
is
much else.
noticing that when she thinks about it, she can actually see further than what that would provide anyway. So
Mhm.
it's just going to get in her way.
Yeah.
well, you do have a flashlight.
I
we could
still
use.
have a headlamp. Robin kept a headlamp from all
The
the
cave.
stuff we had for caving.
Mhm.
Okay. So you guys can flip those on. Essentially, that will give you bright light right in your vicinity, dim light a little bit further, and then darkness beyond.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's take it
Alright.
slow and
Watch where you're
careful.
stepping.
Yeah.
As you begin to walk through this ever thickening snow, now your boots, sliding in a good 6 inches, 7 inches, 8 inches, 10 as you get over
Oh
some
my
of these
God.
deeper spots here, having to lift your legs higher and higher to just make your way through the snow. Having walked around the bank before, you know that there are no other entrances. There is only the front door to the bank. As you move around, you see a number of figures leaning up against the wall in the front of the bank.
Are they posed like some of the animatronics we've seen? Like you said, figures leaning up against the side and picturing like
They got their
Old
arms.
West, like
They've got their arms crossed. Their head is low. Cowboy hat.
How many are there?
3. 2 are
3.
leaning. 1 is sitting.
All right. Well, we
So
found
it's
the
a
bank
beginning.
guards.
They're not in front of the door, but they are near it.
We don't know who's real and what's a machine, do we, guys?
Well, at this moment, we've lost the light. We're losing time. Let's
We have to
just
get back to the train.
bust in and shoot everything we see, right?
And
Shoot
now,
everything
Neb.
we see. Wow.
What?
Are you sure
Fire
that
in
your
her
name
hand.
isn't Clyde or Bonnie there, Robin?
You know what? I learned from the best.
Bonnie Beckett. That's a great name.
How far away are all 3 from the door? And are they on the same side of the door?
So the one sitting is on the right side of the door. He's a good 10 feet away. The 2 that are leaning are about 5 feet.
I say we take care of this now and ask questions later.
Okay, so the way that those things attacked us before is that we either went too close to them, Neb, or tripped over them. Robin, correct? That's how it happened before?
Yeah, it seems
Or,
like
yeah.
you have to be
Okay,
real
that's how it
close.
happened.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's not be real close and take care of it before we get too
Just
close.
blow them away.
Can I try something?
Sure.
Does it involve getting close?
No. I
Does
promise.
it involve a door?
Probably going to just throw a door at them. Yeah.
It's something I think I might be able to do, and I know you guys share this, that somehow you just think you can do something all of a sudden, and you feel like you can, so then you do it, and you're able to here, right?
Yeah.
Should I try it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should do it if it puts all of our lives in danger.
I mean, anything
I
we're about to
suppose.
do is going to do that. So
Our
we might
lives
as
are
well.
already in danger.
Yeah. So we might as well do something exciting in the
Okay.
process.
Fairuza's going. We are how far away from them?
You are currently still about 20 feet. You can just see them at the edge of your thing. If you want to move in,
Okay.
well, you've got your lights, so within 20 feet, you could hit them.
20 feet's fine.
Okay.
She's gonna take a deep breath, kneel down, and put her hand on the ground. And from her hand, you guys notice the ground just starts rumbling. Like it just starts shaking, almost like a mini earthquake. And she stops, lifting her hand up, like, okay. I just don't know how far that can go. It's thaumaturgy. Shake the ground. I figure maybe it'll wake them up or not. So she puts her hand down again and thinks really hard, and the ground just starts shaking for 30 feet outward.
Okay. Gravestones behind you begin to shake, old crumbling rocks falling down, trickling into the snow beneath. The bank itself begins to rattle. It's like an adobe kind of mud clay that it's made out of, very smooth sides. It's got wooden pillars and columns. One of those snaps a bit on the side as it does. When this happens, the 2 that are leaning up against the wall, you start to hear a sound coming from some loudspeakers nearby. However, the one that's sitting leans forward. A little bit of drool or something begins to slide out of its mouth as it slowly pulls itself.
Silas is blasting.
Go ahead, Silas.
So Silas, you see that he kind of like this, it's got to be an illusion because where was he keeping it otherwise? You see, this purple staff begin to form, and at the head of the staff, the head of a ram comes on there, and he's just like, "I've got you, you boob!" And then he fires from the this purple energy comes out of the head of the ram staff there.
Amazing.
And it's going to be that's a 16.
A 16 will hit.
Okay, and that
us some
does 8 points of force damage.
Okay. As this, bashes into its checks, it knocks him back on his bum from where he was getting back up. And you see him kind of lull, his head rolling in a circle back, his tongue falling out of his mouth as if he has no control over it. And he seems to kind of knock his head to the side and lock eyes with you, Silas, as he then leans forward again, beginning to try to stand.
Hit it again! Hit it again! Everyone hit it!
I would love to pull out of my pocket my stone and say, this place could use a little more light, and I'm going to whip it at this zombie.
Go for it.
And try to hit it. That's a 7.
That's a 7 to hit will miss.
Oh,
it skips.
There's a moment where I'm not sure which one I'm going for, and it shoots off into the distance. And as I pull my hand back and drat, it's in my hand again, just there. Shoot, sorry.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We should roll an initiative, but I think you guys are going to be able to handle it. So I'm just going to say it stands up and stumbles 10 feet forward towards you. That's about as much as it can do. We have 3 more, so in any order you want, Fairuza, Maeve, and Robin, you all can take a turn. No, says Maeve.
Nope, it's coming.
Go ahead.
23 to hit.
23 will hit.
Okay.
Handily.
10 force.
10
as there's a puff of snow tunneling towards it.
Fantastic.
knocking it
Robin
back to
and
the wall.
Fairuza, can you take it out before it gets to you?
Robin, do you want to go ahead?
No.
Oh, you-
You go ahead. You go ahead.
First is just remembering at the last minute that she has this sort of talisman in her head, which was the animatronic thing's head. She still has it for some reason.
That's right.
And it's in her hand. So she's just gonna immediately, because now she can rage like almost on like this, and she's just going to literally just chuck that head at the thing.
Just shot put it.
That just this thing. She even
Fantastic.
does this and does that like I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah, yeah.
17
17 will
plus 2 is
hit.
19.
Nice.
Okay.
Give me your damage.
6, 7. 7.
7. All right. Okay. It's still lumbering forward, Robin. Take it out, Robin.
All right.
Unless there's anything else, Fairuza. I don't know.
Yeah, Fairuza, you got anything
Yeah,
else?
bonus action or anything you want? Okay, I figure you're raging, so that was kind of your doing. Go ahead. Yes, Robin.
Robin, like, wait, where exactly? Are we still in the doorway?
No, you guys didn't make it to the doorway. You are 20 feet from the door. It's
Perfect.
lumbering forward. It just stepped off the little, porch as it's coming forward. It's still about 10 feet from you.
Robin just starts bending down and like making snowballs.
Oh my god.
And she's gonna just be
coming.
like,
It's coming.
Are you sure we have time for this?
oh, yes, we do.
Always time for a snowball fight.
You'll just see Robin start just chucking like snowball after snowball, just this flurry of snowballs at this creature.
Amazing.
Dexterity saving throw.
You got it.
Dex 13.
Use
Oh, that's a
preternatural
ridiculous
speed.
fail.
So it's gonna take 3d6 cold damage.
Woo!
Roll it. So let's see what that's gonna be. Click, clicky, click. and that'll be 10 points of cold damage.
Okay. As these snowballs pummel it, you can see that some of this, like, it's kind of hitting into a little bit, but you're like, oh, it doesn't seem to be quite taking the damage you want it to take, and you're like, oh no, it's because it is already somewhat of snow. So as you hit it, you just sort of knock some of the other snow that had already been collecting upon it off of it. It does take a little bit of it, but not quite as much as you were hoping. Anything else, Robin?
You said 20
Robin has
feet?
an arm on her.
He's 10 feet from you now.
He's 10 feet from me now.
He's got like one of those droopy ponchos, from the old days with the fringe on the end. As he stumbles forward, his hat low, you can see a bit of scruff on his chin that just sticks out as his tongue again kind of lolls out of the front.
I love that description. Okay.
I've dealt with too many like you late at the club. No, just no. Absolutely not. Tongue back in your mouth, sir.
Oh, the tongue. I thought you meant cowboys. I was going to be very confused about what clubs you're going to.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Ever heard of lion dancing?
Robin's just gonna be like, well, shucks, I guess I don't have the arm that I used to. And just that's it.
All
At
right,
least you hit the thing.
Melt the ice. Make him
We'll
slip and
just
fall
keep
and
this
break his
this
ass.
round. This is working for us. So Silas, then Neb.
And Silas says, we all may want to step back a little bit. And he backs up, and
Yes.
he's still holding this havoc staff. And as he levels it again, he just says, you frosty, flea-ridden fool! And you see the energy blast out.
Yes.
And that one was only a 15.
That'll still hit.
Okay. And 7 points of force damage.
All right.
You tell him, Silas.
This
You tell him.
bashes in. One arm actually literally just goes flying off. You see it land on the porch behind him, its fingers still extending and gripping along the porch as it continues to lubber forward, one arm gone. Are you all stepping back as it comes?
Yes.
So keeping a 10-foot distance as this thing lumbers forward, pushing you backwards back into the cemetery. Neb, unless Silas, anything else? Okay, Neb.
No, I'm good.
Well, howdy, partner. I'm going to try to hit you again.
Again?
Again.
Man,
You gotta
I'm
say
not-
again.
Again. I'm going to need to work on that. And I'm going to try again to hit
Yes.
it with my rock. Here we go. 12?
A 12 will not hit, unfortunately. Your rock is your hands, you were in that mud. Your hands are freezing and slippery and covered in mud, and it's getting on the rock. And I think it's affecting your grip.
You just got distracted, Neb. You got to let it roll off your tongue like molasses.
I apparently can't be talking while I'm shooting. And she just puts the rock in her
Rootin'
pocket
tootin'.
at this point. Just like, not
So
working.
at this point, it lurches forward, almost as if it's using its weight and gravity to kind of throw itself forward rather than propel on its own strength. It makes itself within 5 feet of Silas and throws its body into your side. Oh, you're probably fine. 8 to hit, I'm sure misses.
Misses.
So as it does, you are backing up as this thing's coming along, and you just turn your shoulder as it just kind of lunges forward, loses its balance, and lunges back. All right, Fairuza, or was it Maeve, Fairuza,
Oh, it's
Robin?
Maeve, yeah.
Again, I would like to do no
Yeah.
and keep it where it's hanging out.
Yeah.
18 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. And that is 12.
12
of force.
damage. Woof. With that, no. As soon as you say it, it's almost like the force of your conviction just explodes it into tiny little shards of fiberglass. As of this moment, Silas was the only one close to it. Silas, how do you react as this thing explodes in front of you?
As soon as I see, whatever's happening to it,
Yeah.
and that it is dispatched, I just turn and start to walk back to the bank.
All right. It blows up in this cloud in front of Silas. Silas barely even, twitching.
And as I'm walking like past Neb,
Yes.
I just say, "You never look back," and I keep walking.
Do you want me to set the body on fire so that you can be walking away from fire? I thought it was explosions.
Okay, I think it's we can use our imaginations.
Okay.
But it has, he walks through this cloud. It's very dramatic.
Neb does
looking
not
at
walk
him,
through the cloud.
looking at him, even the shadow cast by his brow gives kind of a darkness beneath his eyes that's very fetching.
Your life is so hard. So
Yeah.
difficult.
I feel like this place is really affecting Silas a lot right now, don't you? Or something? You guys?
You're all starting to affect my calm. Like, we need to get on with this.
You know what? I agree with all that. Let's go break into a bank.
All right. You approach the door of the bank, and indeed, the other two that are leaning are animatronics. And the joke is that they are, yes, guards asleep on their duty. As you open the door and step inside, this, quite clearly, immediately, lights spring on, sound begins to play, and you begin to hear the loudspeaker say, Hollowville Bank had the distinct honor of serving two purposes in town. It, of course, managed the payroll to all the workers and gave them a secure place to keep their earnings, but it also served as a lockup for those of the criminal persuasion. Yes, where there is gold, those looking to take it will follow. But the remote nature of Hollowvale and the mine make it difficult to abscond once you've got your loot. Most thieves died in the woods mere miles from town, and those that didn't were quickly brought in, kept in the vault, surrounded by the money they tried to steal until the sheriff from Gravelhurst could make the trip up to collect them. In a place like Hollowvale, crime really doesn't pay. Hollowvale Bank had the distinct honor.
As soon as I hear the loop, I'm like looking again to where I can just like.
You immediately disconnect it, killing the voice. But within this space, it is very clear that everything in here is an animatronic. The door that you opened was quite heavy and serious a door. As you come in here, there is a guard sitting with his legs up. There is a little bank teller's stand, and as you can see off to the side, there is a door with a sizable lock on it, leading into the back of the building.
Well, I trust Maeve can break into that, or Silas, one of the two
You
of
can
you.
certainly try.
I think
Have at it.
it's probably worth having a plan for when we open it, because there's going to be something in there, right? Like there's going to be someone locked up in there that we're going to have to deal with. I mean, the person on the loudspeaker told us as much, right?
I hope it's whoever the sadistic bleep is that has us on this ridiculous quest.
I hope not, because that means Steve is dead.
Are we thinking Steve's alive? Like, Steve is probably long dead, right?
You know what? I'm not ruling anything out.
Think so.
Maeve?
Head over to the lock, kind of going, these 5, 84, however many they are. I head to the lock. Is the door locked before I try and unlock it?
Yes, you do go and try to, rattle the handle a little bit. It is locked, and it is a hefty lock. You have not seen a lock like this in quite a bit.
Okay. But it's a dial lock?
No,
or
it's
is it
a key lock.
It's a key. Looking around the lobby of the bank, is there a guard animatronic?
There is. He's sitting on the chair with his feet up on a desk. You want to go look at him?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Investigation check of the animatronic guard.
14.
All right. As you're looking him over, checking in his pockets, they did not do extra sort of props with him. There's nothing in his pockets. There's nothing. He's got a little badge on his vest up here. One thing he is doing is there is a ring of keys on his finger that he moves like this to sort of make them jingle as though he were twirling them. But you can tell already they're pretty fakey.
Okay. All right. I can go ahead and give the lock a shot.
All right.
While she's doing that, I like to move so that when we do open the door, assuming I can see where the hinges are. I want to move so that as soon as it opens, I can see in.
Okay, great.
Like 5,
Gotcha.
10 feet
Yes.
back just to be ready.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a 24.
The 24 was
Ooh.
not a crit though, but a 24.
No, it was a 19.
Just double checking. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, you bend down. This is the hardest lock of your life. You have never tried to break something quite this tough, but it is old.
Bobby pin.
There you go,
Darn it.
bobby pin. Yeah, your multi-purpose tool. I mean, you're pulling everything out. Even a credit card comes out at one point. You're like, it's not that kind of long. But anything that can come to mind to try to make this work. It takes you a good 5 minutes of fiddling with it and trying to get things to lock, but you do finally, eventually hear that click. And as you reach your hand up and turn the knob, it swings open. Looking into the back, you do indeed see a vault. It is filled with shelves. There are a bunch of like safety deposit type boxes, cash boxes, that kind of thing lined up, as well as a number of very personal items. You can see things like jewelry that are kind of in bags or, placed within those shelves. A lot have little paper that has been stapled to the wooden shelves that some have some names on it. Some of the ones maybe from the cemetery or from some of these things that you've overheard. But yeah, there are chests and bags. There are, however, no animatronics or bodies as far as you see.
Does any of the paper look like it matches the ticket?
You can give me an investigation check for that.
13.
They're both weathered, but you couldn't say, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's the same paper, and you'd be hard pressed to even say it was the same age. This looks really old. This paper, you're
The ticket
surprised.
does.
No, the paper that's been stapled.
Looks
You're
authentic.
surprised it's even still there. Yeah, it looks authentic. That's the best way to say it. It looks authentic. It looks like it's 100 years old. Could be.
Looking around in here, how much of it seems to be staged and fake, and how much of it might be real?
Perception check.
Sure.
This door,
Yeah.
can we clarify the door one more time? Like,
Yeah.
is it, how big is it again and how heavy?
It's a big, heavy metal, like steel
Like a
door.
vault door?
Like a vault door, but
Okay.
it just had a
Yeah.
regular lock on it. This isn't a fancy bank.
Got it.
But it's a solid door. It's definitely, everything else you've seen has been wood.
Silas is looking for something else heavy that he thinks he can prop the door open with.
Okay.
And he is just getting to a place because he's having these flashbacks of, and people might hear him like muttering under his breath of like, that time I got locked in the vault and I didn't get out for an entire like 26 hours. I thought I was going to starve. And he's just like getting something in the way of the door to try to keep it propped up.
So as you're looking through, there are a bunch of like chests, like family heirloom kind of chests that are lying around. You can grab one of those and place it in front. It is heavy. It's clearly full of whatever their things are, and push it to the side.
And if I have to ask Fairuza for help or
Sure.
whatever, it's like just like,
Yeah.
hey, let's just make sure this door stays there.
Well, and Fairuza, as you're helping him, you hear him muttering these sort of creepy things and memories under his breath that does sort of catch your attention. Neb, what was you were perception checking about the authenticity of the room. What'd you get?
18.
18. Unlike everything else, this looks very authentic to you. Almost none of this looks staged. You're looking at this, you're like, yeah, you don't think they let people see this room. You're pretty sure this was off limits because the dust has settled. Nothing in here has been sort of cleaned up or repaired. Everything looks old. Everything looks a little bit weathered. But also pretty preserved, having been in this space for however long.
Well, Silas, what's the thing that you say? Case the joint? Are we flipping the joint? What do we do now that we have the bank open? I think we just have to look through everything, right?
Yeah, just like ransack it and find the mirror shard, presumably, or whatever the next clue is, because again, I'm sure it can't be this easy.
I'll start going through lower shelves,
Yeah.
bags, boxes, any of that, and let
Yeah, I
other
mean, you guys
taller
can
people
search.
take
You can
it.
search the room. Yeah, we'll say so. We can do a group roll to see everybody roll an investigation, and we'll see
Okay.
how many.
Robin is going to
Yeah.
stay outside of the vault
Okay,
just to keep watch everybody's back.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm sort of, Fairuza's sort of near the door,
Okay.
but looking around and just keeping watch
Great.
sort of
Yeah.
on anything.
I'm
Let's
going to, as I pass by Maeve to go look at kind of the other side of the bank, I'm going to give her a little pat on the shoulder and say, that was awesome. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of support on whatever your investigation is going to be.
Sounds good.
As
All right.
I rolled an 11.
An 11 from Neb.
Neb is
Fairuza,
way too excited to focus
11.
on
an
anything.
11. Silas,
Investigation.
investigation.
He is like being very reckless with this. I would
Oh.
almost even say it's like disadvantaged. So it doesn't really matter because I rolled a 4 and a 5.
Okay,
so
well, there
that's
we
like
go.
a
So,
super low, lower than him.
and Maeve,
16.
a 16.
Yay.
Looking around here, thinking about, that ticket, everything that you've been through, something feels wrong about this. You're looking at this and you're going, this space looks undisturbed. I mean, if it was cleaned up from the museum, they just sort of locked the door again. These are people's personal things. And part of you starts to wonder if whoever this is would actually be so obvious to keep things in the bank.
I'm not coming up with anything. How about the rest of you?
And
I
Silas
see
kind of like at
nothing.
the end starts to telekinetically just kind of like take things off of any top shelves and
Yeah.
just start to kind of drop them on the floor.
Oh,
and it's a
jewelry.
real mess in here.
Money, some pieces of gold, a lot of family, heirlooms, china, dishes, plates, things like that. Anything people wanted to keep safe, but it's all very homespun. None of it looks like it's very valuable beyond sort of the sentimental and then literal coin value. Yeah.
And the recording said that they kept the criminals locked up here
Yeah.
as in the same vault.
It's
Yep.
terrible, but
And it doesn't look like there's any specific modifications for the criminals.
There's a chair in the corner.
Yeah, can I take a look at that chair?
Yeah, come on over. Take a look at the chair. The chair's it's a wooden chair. You do notice a bucket off to the side that has some staining in it.
Gross. Lovely.
Yeah.
All right. And
That's where they drop Deuce.
what?
yes, I understood
You know
that.
what?
Do you think that maybe we overthought the wordplay?
It's entirely possible.
Well, they got us
I
keyed
didn't wanna
up,
think
whoever
about
this
that.
mastermind is. It's got us
just
keyed up on
seems-
thinking everything is significant.
If this is all... And the names, the papers,
Yeah.
the names, there's not a blank one, right? There's
There's
not
not a
piece of
blank one,
paper? There's not
and-
any of the names that we're familiar, Ivy or Steve or
No,
or
and these are
Julian.
all, as you start to look back and look at all of these names and things, they are all from the period before. So all the names that you've heard from the different places, the gravestones, no one that seems to be related to the museum or to Julian or Ivy or any of those people are. This is all pretty and even as you're looking at things, even these hope chests feel really antique. Not just vintage. This is not 1920s stuff. This is 1850s. This is old.
I want to walk outside of the bank or outside the vault
Yeah.
into the bank proper.
Uh-huh.
And I want to just start looking at the rest of the bank because, and I'll look back at everyone and go, well, everything in here is the bank. Maybe you just need to be in the bank and we don't have to be in the vault in the bank.
Maybe we just didn't dig deep enough.
Or that,
Like
but
to the floor.
Feel free.
well, as
So-
long as we're here, let's take a look around here.
If you're gonna pout about everything we have to do,
I'm not
Might as well
pouting.
go dig on your own.
I'm not okay. If you want me to, I will. And
I don't
Silas
want you to.
actually
I just
walk-
want you to
Silas
care
starts to
will
about
walk
leave.
what
out
we're
of the
doing,
bank.
or not.
Robin will follow him.
Okay. Silas leaves as he and Maeve have a little standoff. Robin turns following Silas out the door. Neb, as you look around the main area of the bank, Maeve and Fairuza, you're still in the vault area. Neb, as you look around the main area of the vault, everyone beginning to feel a little bit hopeless, a little bit like, what are we going to do? Everyone's divided. This place is very staged. This definitely looks like, there's old, bank cards that people would fill out that are half filled out on there. There's a woman teller behind the thing who's sort of handing a pencil and handing a pencil and handing a pencil for eternity. Everything here looks really museum-ified.
And Neb's gonna go behind where the teller is.
Yes.
And she's gonna start looking as though she's a teller, because they had to have places to, make change and stuff. And so maybe there's like a safe or a storage box or something here.
Yeah. Looking there's a bunch of shelves and all kinds of things with all sorts of little pencils and papers and things like that. There is indeed a small safe right beneath her station.
I'll try it. Is it locked?
It is not locked.
I'll open it.
You pop it open and it is
I'm now a safe
empty.
cracker.
It is empty to your eye.
Well, I'm still a safe cracker. I'm going to say it. And I'm just going to continue to
Scout this area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not just the back, but also kind of the bank itself. Just looking at either for clues or something else. The fact that it's staged, I think Neb thinks this might help, because everything else we've come across has been staged in a way. So she'll just continue to look around the actual bank proper.
Cool. All right, we will come back to the three of you. Silas, as you trudge through the snow, it is even deeper now. You hear the crunching of it beneath your feet as you move back towards the grave and the river. Robin, you're following behind him, potentially using his footsteps to make it so much easier for you as you both make your way back towards the old grave.
And as Silas is walking, wherever he's seeing like figures, even if they're just a little bit in the distance, he's actually got like a pep in his step, and he's like snapping, and then eventually he's like,
oh no,
finger gunning, and he continues to kind of like strut. And so Miss Robin is getting the full
you're getting a show.
And then he's eventually, going to kind of slide into the end of the river.
As you slide,
and the actual bank.
Yes, as you slide into the river, right back to where Neb was digging before. The snow has really, picked up here. Your feet sinking into thick mud, the water beginning to pool around your feet.
Listen, youngster, you're gonna need this, and she's gonna hand him
I'm like
the
20
shovel.
years younger than you or something.
She'll hand him the shovel.
Okay,
this might help.
You digging, Silas?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, Miss Robin, honestly, like, we're after the shard, and I don't get it. Like, all I care about is finding the shard, and it seems like nobody else cares about that.
I absolutely care about it. I don't know what makes you think that they don't. They just more easily distracted.
That you care, and that's why you're out here. So you get it, Miss Robin. Like, you get it. And he's just idly digging. He's not even really looking where he's digging. He's just like digging.
There's
down.
just mud slinging right and left around him. He looks like a crazy person to you, Robin. He's just, digging his way through in here in the middle of a snowstorm. His hat is gone. His hair is getting matted down by the weight of the snow and the cold and the wet. Has Silas have a little beard?
Yes.
Oh yeah, all the snot and starts to freeze in the beard, and you get those little tracks. I mean, he looks like a wild man.
And she's never even gonna know where I am. Like, I have no way to get any kind of word back to her. And I'm just saying she's not gonna have any clue what happened to me.
Your
And he
Ding.
just keeps digging.
The spade hits something solid.
Wait a minute. And then he finally pays attention to what he's doing. Looks down.
About a foot in the bank, you have hit something metal. As you reach your hands in and begin to clear some of the mud aside, you can very clearly see metal bracing that would go around a chest.
Hey, I think we've got some kind of pay dirt here.
Keep digging, keep digging.
As you and Robin continue to dig, we will go back to the bank and the three of you.
I've continued to just tear the place apart, looking for
Looking for
anything.
everything.
Yeah.
Give me a quick investigation,
Sure.
and then I want a perception check.
Investigation is a 16.
Okay, and then your perception.
And then my perception is an 18. They're slowly
All right.
getting better.
As you are looking around this space, you're very quickly kind of going, "Oh, this is lost cause. We're off the track. This is wrong. You just feel like this is so untouched of an area." And as that happens, a sound captures your ear. Could it possibly be the crunch of snow under shambling feet from outside?
And it's clearly shambling. I don't think it's Silas or Robin.
It has an irregular rhythm to it.
Is it coming from door
Which granted
sides?
could be Silas out there walking too if it's an irregular rhythm.
Which direction is it coming from?
From outside.
But I mean, like where the front door is, or
like the
side?
main street, like straight outside.
Neb freezes and looks over at Fairuza and Maeve and says, "Do you hear that?
What did you hear?
It's someone's coming, and I don't think it's Silas or Robin." And I'm gonna produce some fire in my hand, and I'm gonna go over to the door. Did we leave the front door open, or is it closed?
As far as I know, you left it open.
I'm not gonna get like in the doorway, but like 5 feet from the door and just kind of do one of those
And peer into the darkness.
Yeah.
So it's pretty bright in here and it's pretty dark out there. Even with your dark vision, that contrast is not helping you. But you peer into the darkness ahead. The wind is beginning to
Oh God.
whoosh left by, but every once in a while through that you can hear the crunch again. Slowly, as your eyes begin to adjust and you stick your head a little bit forward, you see at least 6, no, maybe 8 figures slowly walking towards the cemetery.
I don't like the look on
Towards
your
the
face,
cemetery. Okay.
Oh.
I think we just
What?
turned into one of those zombie movies. There's 4 of them. They're moving towards the cemetery. Do you think Miss
4?
Robin and
6,
Yeah.
I said 6 or
So-
8 for
Oh.
what you can see.
Oh wait, I now
I thought
held
you
up
was
4.
intentionally getting
I
it
held
wrong.
up 4 numbers, 4 fingers, so that's what I did. I did that to you. But
Oh.
6, no, maybe 8.
She goes, there's 4 of them. Oh no, wait, hold on. Oh no, there's a horde. There's a whole horde of them all going. Do you think Miss Robin and Silas are okay?
Going
Go-
after Silas and Robin, or
Well, they're head. Come here, and I'll point
Okay.
them out. And with how they're walking towards the cemetery, are they going to come close to the doorway, or are they far enough away that their angle will not?
Quite a few will. Even as you stick your head forward and kind of look out, you can see there's a number of them now, maybe 10, maybe 12, maybe 14 now walking down the porches. They're going to pass right by this open door any moment.
We got to get out of here, and we got to go help Robin and Silas. They've alerted the zombies somehow, and there's
so
a horde
run
coming.
out in front of the creatures.
Well, either that or they're coming by here, and we're stuck in here.
okay.
Oh,
Well, if we're
right.
gonna leave, we have to leave now.
And as soon as I get the affirmative from them, Ned dashes and is
What are
going.
we-
We're gonna take
Lock
off.
them in the vault that's designed to hold captives.
That's a great idea. There's about 12 of them to get into that vault and get
Well,
close enough to
12,
get them to go into the vault. And yeah, Neb is like as
Neb's-
close to the bank as possible, and is gonna duck around and try to go in the direction
right.
of the
You
grave.
step
Alright.
outside, you can see one's just 20 feet there. You can see it at the edge of your vision. It's coming towards you as you back up, looking behind you, hoping that nothing comes around behind the back. Maeve, Fairuza, are you following?
Yes, Fairuza definitely follows.
All right,
Oh,
you step outside
yeah.
as well into this darkness. Again, it immediately seems to come, swamp in around you as you keep looking around, going back to back, trying to be able to see. But they seem to be just coming out of the darkness from every direction. Every body that was lying there on the ground now straight up walking towards you. We'll pause for you guys in a moment. Silas and Robin, you're able to clear out around the edge of this chest. It is not huge, but a good sizable piece so that you can actually get your fingers in and around the sort of edges of the metal.
Lifting it up.
Give me a strength check, please. You have to pull it, suction it out of
Can I
that
try
mud.
to assist with my telekinetic force?
You can, yes. I will. You can add your spell casting.
Excellent. Athletics or strength? Sorry, I can't remember.
I
what
just
you
said strength, but if you want to do
Right.
athletics, you can do that.
So that is going to be plus the 18.
Okay. I can't wait. It unsuctions from the mud. You grab it, struggling backwards, taking a few steps back into that water, rising up around your boots. But as you bring it around in front of you, it's a small sort of chest. It's covered in mud, but as you scrape away at the top of it, you can see inscribed on the top is a J and a C. A lock in the front of it.
Wait, what was Julian's last name? Do you remember? Corbin? JC?
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And so you said there's like a keyhole or a lock?
There's a keyhole, an ornate keyhole on the front.
Oh.
All right. All right. I'll try this out. Like typically, I just use drills because it was faster. But I'm going to start pulling out the lockpick set that Silas has from his bag.
Go ahead and give me a thieves tool check, please.
Let's see. It's plus 4, so that is going to be 16.
16. As you begin to work on it, something shoots out of the lock, stabbing you in the palm of your hand. As that happens, you feel a warm liquid slide into your veins. That is 5 piercing and 3 poison. As you pull your hand back, immediately it starts to go numb. You see a little drop of blood begins to slide down your wrist. As you look at the lock and see now there are 2 triggers of this.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. This bastard also trapped all this. So again, sadist. I am
Do you need
completely
help?
sick of this stupid. No, I'm fine. And then Silas at this point just takes it against the headstone and he just slams the chest against the headstone.
Fantastic. Athletics with your, if you want to telekinetically help yourself,
Sure.
go ahead.
Oh wow, so that's an 18 on the die, so that's gonna be 22, 26.
Robin, with a wild look in his eye. I mean, the frozen beard, the frozen hair, his cheeks are red. There's blood on his hand as he smashes this thing on top of this ancient stone, all the jagged bits of it shattering into pieces. As this happens, money, paper money, flies into the air. Silas, it rains cash all around your head. Robin, you notice landing in the snow next to it is a leather-bound packet of letters of parchment and a small piece of mirror.
Robin's gonna just dive for both of those things, making sure that he doesn't land on them or nothing falls on them. She's going for it.
Silas, you're looking up at this cloud of cash. Robin literally slides into home plate in front of this gravestone and scoops up this leather-bound, packet of paper and the mirror shard, which you carefully sort of lift in the palm of your hand. We will come back to you guys in a moment. The 3 of you As you are backing away from the bank, again, the snow making it hard to see, you see all of these creatures begin to pick up a little speed at this point.
Uh-oh.
They're starting to move a little bit faster. You too begin to pick up speed. They don't seem to be quite as fast as you are, but they are much faster than you thought they would be. As you get to the fence and step over this broken fence, again, trying to make sure, you can now see they're starting to come around the side from the back of some of the buildings. Others are coming through the cemetery on the other side. Now you've lost count. At the edges, the periphery of your lights and your vision, it feels like they're just coming out of every corner of this space. Finally, you can hear Silas. Everything kind of the break of wood and the rend of metal. And as you look back, you see money flying in the air and Robin on the ground at the foot of the headstone.
Horde is coming. Horde is coming. Don't know what happened. Did you find it? Because the horde is coming.
I've got it.
Okay, let's go.
Robin stands up. You can see in their headlights reflected in this tiny piece of glass.
We've got the shard.
You're awesome.
And
We gotta
money?
go.
Let's go.
Leaving now.
I want to take a quick look around. Are we completely surrounded, or is there a path to go somewhere?
I mean, depends how you want to do it. I mean, they are not packed together. There is space between them, but there are creatures in
Can
every
we-
direction
can we
except
go-
behind you.
Can
You
we
could
go
go
back
in. You could go
behind
into the river.
buildings?
There are some coming from around back behind the
Okay.
buildings. Those that were
We're
in the
gonna trudge
alleys.
to the river then.
The only space where there are no creatures is behind you in the river,
But we need to get to the train.
which
Yeah.
is in the opposite direction.
Like soon. We can't fight all of these things.
No.
You know what then? We're gonna have to bum rush them all. And Neb is gonna change into Fairuza's moose. Well, the moose. She's gonna change into a moose with the blue eyes.
Uh-huh.
And this
That's
large moose with massive antlers and these thin but very strong legs.
Yes.
She's gonna paw the ground and she's gonna think about that moment when she was a moose a little while ago and how much she really just wanted to charge towards stuff. And I'm gonna pick a direction that seems to have the fewest zombies. And I'm just putting my head down and charging
Okay.
because I can do that.
Yes, you can. Please make a goring charge attack as you move forward.
Yeah, so I got this
Goring
thing that's
charge.
literally charged that if I move at
Kick 'em
least
off.
20 feet.
Yep, you can add
uh,
extra attack,
then
right?
Hits with a ram attack in the same turn the target takes. Yeah, I get extra
Yeah.
damage.
Go
Okay.
ahead, see if you hit.
Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. Okay. Yeah, that probably hits. That's a I rolled a 16 on the die plus
Definitely hits. Yes.
So it or whoever I hit needs to make a strength saving throw, DC 13, or be knocked prone.
I'm gonna offer, since you were just like, I'm gonna give you multiple targets on this.
Okay. How many attacks do you want me to roll?
Well, we're gonna say the one hit 3 as you were moving forward. I'm giving it to you because this should be a minion horde battle, right? So
Oh,
you just
perfect,
like
perfect.
ran a straight line and put your horns in gear, right? So two of them failed, one of them saved.
Awesome.
So those two are prone, I assume,
Yeah, anyone who failed is knocked prone.
but they're all gonna take your damage.
So they're all gonna take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And if possible, because I'm just trying to forge a path for my
Mhm.
friends, I'm not staying to attack. I'm just pushing them. I'm whacking them. If they come up behind me, I'll kick whatever I gotta do
Fantastic.
to.
Let's roll initiative, my friend. Neb just started a combat.
I know, I did. I'm sorry, everybody.
That's okay.
Oh, but
Crit, 21.
I'm finally rolling well, though.
All right, Fairuza, 21 you said?
Yes.
All right, Fairuza, 21. Maeve,
17.
17 for Maeve. Neb,
18.
18 for Neb. Silas,
22.
22 for Silas. And Robin.
17.
Jeez, these are some good rolls.
Right?
He wants
Um,
out of here
end of the
now.
year.
Wow, you all are ready
I'm
to
sorry,
leave.
Robin was what?
17.
Robin was 17. Maeve,
I have
I'm
a 0 dex.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're ahead of her on that. All right. So actually, Neb's zombies get to go first. They rolled the highest.
Wow.
Whoa.
Even
Two
the
of
zombies
them-
are rolling well tonight.
Oh yeah. Two of them are down, so they're gonna stand up. But Neb, you are surrounded by these three that you've pummeled into. There was this little cluster that you cleared. So all three of them are going to stand up and throw their bodies into you.
All right.
All right, I got a 14, a 19, and a 17.
All hit.
Fantastic.
The moose has a better armor class than I do, but not much. Not
Nice.
much.
All right,
Nice.
that will be 10 bludgeoning damage as they pound their shoulders into the side of this moose.
And that's total for all three?
And that's total for all three.
She's looking rough, but she's still a moose.
Okay. This on here. All right, that is them. Well, how much damage did you do on that first one there? Oh, no, I wrote it down. 13. Got it. Great. Okay. Silas, you are up next.
Silas starts to kind of rush forward, but the entire time he is making sure that he basically is keeping his head on a swivel and watching where the mirror shard is. The
Okay,
entire
great.
Time. It's like he's not losing focus on that, and pretty intentionally at this point, not Miss Robin, the
Yes.
mirror shard.
The mirror shard.
And so, as he kind of steps forward, you hear kind of like a guitar chord sound out through this minor illusion that starts just booming in the place, and then you hear that kind of amplified voice a little bit, almost trying to like draw attention, to some degree. He just starts singing, "I hurt myself today just to see if I still feel," and basically I'm going to just light whatever the closest one up in front of me, and I'm going to kind of just I'm rushing, but also it looks like he's just not very concerned about what's in front. He's concerned about making sure the path is clear.
So are you following Neb's path and going after those creatures that are on her, or are you
any of the
going
fallout?
peripherally?
If that's the
Yeah.
like whatever is going to keep the path clear. So if that's
Great.
the ones that she's already hit, then yes, that would be it.
Great. All right. So you're going after those same ones. All right. Go ahead. So the three, you just saw them. I mean, she rushed through them, knocking two of them down. But as soon as they stood up, she was surrounded by these three. And all three of them just threw their bodies. And you could see her throw her moose head up in the air and sort of, I don't know, do they whinny? Like, whatever that noise
They
is.
move.
Bray. They move. They bray. That's right.
It's
Moose
very
bray.
obvious this moose has no idea what noise to make, and so you
Yes.
just hear very weird noises.
A strange
What?
moose call.
Yeah.
So there's three there you can target.
What is the so at this point, Silas definitely tactically understands that these
Yes.
things are dangerous to
Yes.
people. Are all three of them in close range with Neb?
Yes,
or is
all
Neb
three of
further
them
away?
have her surrounded.
And there are none that are like beyond
Oh, sure there are.
Neb okay, in the same path as her.
Oh yeah, like ahead of her. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I would actually prefer to do one that is not just right on top.
Okay.
Because Silas is going to think that's going to make it worse and make the path least efficient.
Okay. So in order to get within your eye line of them and sight with light and everything like that, you'll have to move up. You can stay out of 5 of melee range of those three if you'd like,
Sure.
but you'll have to move up to kind of where they are.
Totally fine.
Okay, great. You move up
he's
there.
really
You
Yeah.
spot ahead, trying to sort of again clear this path right directly down Main Street that's going to head towards the train station.
20 on the die.
Woo! Woo!
Critical hit.
Nice.
And basically at this point, as he's doing that, you see that Silas just says in a gravelly voice, "Transform and rise up." And you see that this illusory version of Silas starts to almost like, and then he turns into like a giant gun that just kind of floats for just a second. And you see like a giant bolt come out, and that is, I need to roll that damage twice.
Woo!
They're not immune to critical hits, are they?
No, they are not.
Okay. So that
They
is
most
going to-
certainly are not.
that is 17 points of force.
Wow. So this Silas projectile
Silas going.
just smashes into two of them up ahead. There's a cluster of two that are sort of shambling forward, again, in this main drag as you're going forward. You're able to hit them both with quite a good little bit of force there, knocking them back. Again, probably some fingers fell to the ground. Another one lost an ear that is now, sitting there. I hope you like, this is my jam. There's gonna be a lot of dismemberment tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and all.
Silas kind of like reappears very quickly,
Yes.
and then he's like, power flows to those who seek it. And he just yells that out, kind of amplified voice.
Fairuza.
Okay, so there's one that's still sort of up.
So there's
Right?
there's three surrounding Neb,
Yeah.
and then there's
Maybe-
two a little bit further on that
Okay.
Silas hit, but they're all, and then there's still a ton on the sides of you guys as you're starting to move forward, if that's what you choose to do.
Okay, so Fairuza is aware that we're just trying to get through this group. We're not trying to create like a mob fight here. So all she can do is go for the nearest one, but still keep it ranged, I guess.
Okay.
somewhat,
So
'cause they're zombie.
You want to do
explosive
kind of what
zombies.
Silas did, which is like come up along the other side and go after the two in front.
The two that
Okay.
in front. So when she sees this, she's just gonna like immediately rage. All you see is her eyes start flashing. The wind lifts her hair off her shoulders, and you only see like little tinsel.
The
and her
snow
eyes are
starts to
flashing.
swirl around your head, Fairuza.
Yes.
If anything, it feels like a weird tornado of energy and wind and snow begins to surround you.
Yes, and you look at her, she looks larger, bigger, just appears bigger. And even when she picks up her axe and swings it, you'll notice it looks like a gavel. For some reason, it just looks like a gavel. And she's going to, and it's going to be like loud as if a loudspeaker. She's going to be like, order in the court. She's going to swing the gavel at the one. Let's see what happens.
For a ranged throw?
Ooh.
Or are you going up
Means
into
I can
melee?
throw it, yeah, right?
Yeah,
I
you
have to
can
go
throw
pick
it.
up after.
You can totally throw it. You just have to remember to pick it up. It's on your way.
Yeah.
Okay,
She's gonna,
throwing it.
Yep.
Gotcha. Just
Let's see. Yeah.
head
Exactly.
over
And
toe.
it's electric.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, nice.
Oh crap. One. And you know what the funny thing is? So I'm using basically crushing hurl. And they're
Yeah.
like, you get +2 with that. It doesn't matter if you roll a 1. Thanks.
Doesn't matter if you roll a 1. As it goes end over end, it's almost like the wind picks it up. It flies over the heads of your targets and disappears into the darkness, the light of it going out. If you want to try to find it, we'll deal with that later. Anything else, Fairuza?
No, she's just gonna stand there with like her mouth agape, completely not realizing she just reacted without, because she was reckless. So
Yeah. Oh, if you were reckless, if you did it
Yes.
reckless, you get it with advantage.
That is very true.
think again.
Backwards. Retcon coming back. Roll with advantage,
see
please,
that?
Fairuza.
I just rolled
Please
a 1
be kind.
again.
Oh, okay.
To be.
Wow.
Alicia, you are no longer allowed to use a digital roller, okay?
That is
It's
amazing.
over.
Digital
From now
dice.
on-
I mean, I made this tool set, and I don't think I've ever seen that right there.
Digital dice are not your
God.
friend. The
From now on.
technology gremlins
yeah, from now on, it's only die hard dice.
don't die hard from now on. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
It spirals off into the night and you'll find it later. So
Like this.
back into
Both
forward.
sliding doors time-wise.
It's the same thing happening.
Hey, it's a
In
fixed
both
point in time. There's a
Mhm,
must lose her gavels.
Goes flying. All right, amazing, Fairuza. Anything else? I think that probably not, but
Oh, I don't want to
Okay.
do anything else, Steph. Nothing.
Fairuza just, yes, mouth open, stares into the dark
Running?
abyss from which her gavel went. She did run up a little bit. If you want a bit more, I mean, I don't know how much speed you have, but Neb had to go at least 20 feet, so you probably would have to have moved 30 in order to target those other creatures behind her or beyond her.
And my reach increases by 5 feet. So
okay, so you're just there. Yeah. Okay. At this point, the two that Silas and Fairuza have been targeting now begin to push their way forward. And again, they're moving a little faster than you thought. How far away were you targeting, Silas? How far can you target with your
well, it depends on the site, I suppose. It would be whatever the
That's true. So with your light 20, so if you at 20 feet?
Yeah.
Fantastic. They make it to you. There's two of them. They head right up to Silas, both of them. That is a 19 and a natural 1. So 19 hits.
Yes, but Silas is going to use a reaction.
Okay, go ahead.
And is just simply going to stare at it, just almost dead-eyed, and is just going to say, "My condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy." And you almost see like these illusory tubes start to come out of him, and a giant glowing red thing around his heart is kind of just pulsing just a little bit. And it's going to be silvery barbs, and so they need to re-roll that 19.
Okay. Oh. That is a 14.
Does not. That does hit still.
Does still hit.
Does hit
okay.
Still, yeah.
Okay, that is only 3 points of bludgeoning damage. As the one, he probably, he lost some fingers, so he slaps you, but it's kind of loose and limp and doesn't do too much to you.
Yeah, and as that happens, I'm going to choose Neb. And you're going to have advantage on your next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, which you make in the next minute.
Well, Neb, you're up.
Okay.
What? Wait, what? Oh, it's mentioned.
Yeah.
Neb is next.
Are any of the three that I hit still prone, or did they all stand up?
No, they all stood up.
Okay, so I have gone after the one that would be the most in the way for everybody. And there's my advantage. So 17 to hit.
That hits.
So they're going to take 6 bludgeoning damage as I just ram one horn into one of them. I'm trying to, once again, not only hurt, but like push out of the way.
Yeah. So do I do a strength saving throw against it, or is just...
To be honest, because I couldn't charge, that's more for flavor than anything else. Yeah.
So you knock, it's almost like you're trying to get water out of your ear or something like that, as you sort of sideways knock into this thing. You said for 6 damage?
Yeah.
For 6, you do knock it, and in fact its head goes kind of flying off in the other direction as it falls backwards into these shards along the ground. However, you are tall, it is down on the ground. You don't get any flyback from that. Anything else, Neb?
How far away are the two that targeted Silas? Did they
20
walk?
feet. They walked closer, so they're within 5 feet of all of you now.
Well, drat. Past
he's
them,
he's a little bit off to the side, so maybe you have 10 feet.
Okay. Past them, it's once again in the direction we gotta go. Do I see anything directly blocking our path that might be, say, 20 feet away or more?
Oh yeah. In fact, you see a clump of 6 of them directly between you and the station. You're not even halfway through this town yet.
How far away is the clump?
30 feet.
Okay.
And only you can see that.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm eyeing them, and I still got 2 next to me, but she's gonna wait because she can suddenly move real fast and she can get up there, but that's not gonna work as well. So yeah,
all right.
I'm done.
So you're staying. Maeve.
Maeve looks around and looks at the pathway and sees this swarming.
Yeah.
And looks at them and goes, "Are you trying to hit me?" And all of a sudden, sort of, it starts off almost looking like a reflection off of the water.
Yes.
But you, looking at Maeve, she sort of, the light bounces around her, and suddenly there are 3 of her. Ooh. Very tough to tell which one is which, as she sort of starts to bolt through the crowd as nimbly as possible.
Amazing.
So
So you're-
amazing.
amazing. Even better. It is amazing.
Terrible.
Spirit
I'm sorry,
fingers.
everyone.
Nope,
I'm sorry,
nope.
audience.
We're
Nope,
we're
I
gonna
love it.
you know you're
Name of
gonna
the
have-
episode.
So
Yes.
this is me now, and then it'll decrease as we go.
Oh my
To
gosh.
Amazing.
Oh
So Silas, Fairuza, Neb, you're all kind of distracted a bit by this, but you start to see Maeves everywhere run past you. Robin, as you're, standing at the back, sort of trying to figure out what you're going to do, you just see all these Maeves show up and begin to run forward. Maeve,
Yes.
are you dashing? So you're going to take your.
I can't dash because I can't use
Okay.
that.
Okay,
I only
so
have
you're
my
going about
action
30
to
feet?
cast the spell.
Okay, great.
So yeah, 35 feet is my
35
move.
feet. So you can come up basically level with the rest of your party there.
Okay.
Okay. In which case, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll say you dash by 2 of them. So they're going to take 2 quick little things. That will fail, but this one will hit, I'm sure. 21.
21 will hit.
Okay.
However,
Yes.
all of a sudden, as it hits, I'm gonna go ahead and react to it.
Yes.
There's a face that sort of appears in front of all 3 of the Maeves. Actually, no, it'll hit a duplicate. Never mind. It's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, that's what I think. Okay.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Mhm.
So it hits a duplicate.
Yes. It will
Okay,
hit the
great.
duplicate.
It slides
So now
into
there are
one of
only
the
2
Maeves. All of you
duplicates.
go as you think she's been hit, but suddenly that one just kind of flies up into the air. Maeve, as
Cool
that
ability.
happens, you hear a voice in your mind. It says, "Hear me, dearest. You are getting closer." Robin.
Did anyone else hear that?
What?
Robin, 30 feet
awesome.
at the back of the pack.
That's awesome.
Could I say with a free action she picks up her shovel?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Where Silas dropped it.
She's gonna stuff it into her bag. And she's
You
like,
got it.
You never know.
Mhm.
She's also gonna stuff in the leather bound things, and she's got the shard.
The shard.
She's gonna hold it because is it wrapped?
It is not.
It is not wrapped. Okay, well she's gonna kind of tuck it into like her side, her like overall. She's not gonna put it into her bag. She's worried about it. She's gonna
Okay.
hold on to it,
Okay.
and she's gonna say, "Well, you weren't the running back on your community college team for nothing."
Oh my gosh.
And she's going to begin to run into the most cleared path. She sees everyone's trying to clear a
Yes.
path.
Yes.
So it is her goal to use as much of a cleared path
Like-
to get just
like a offensive lineman, just
exactly
right. Okay, gotcha.
right through.
Follow the
Okay.
blocks.
So
I'm
you
gonna
are
do-
dashing.
I'm going to depends on what I hit. I'm going to use my 30 feet of movement to get up there.
Okay. Yep.
What's in front of me, I am going to use my everything to move, but I have expeditious retreat.
Okay.
Either I'm going to use that or I have something else depending on what's in front of me.
Okay. So, like Maeve, to get past this line, you're going to have to contend with at least 2 of these things.
What's beyond that line?
Beyond that line, you can't see.
All right, fair. I'm going for it.
Great.
All right, so 30 feet as I get to this front line where
Yes.
I know that I see things.
Yes.
You just see like Robin's running and dashing, and then poof, like a little bit of mist is all that's left.
Yeah,
in
literally
30 feet.
snow dust that you
Whoa.
all eat. You all eat a little of her snow dust. As she
And
road runners.
My mouth was open.
Me too. Yeah, at first like, damn, what?
And then 30 feet ahead is where I'll
You
appear.
come up short, stopping as fast as you can as a line of 6, a clump of 6 of these things is directly in front of you.
Wait.
As they
Okay.
come into view.
Okay.
I allow you can steer a little bit aside. You don't have to be within 5 feet of them if you wanted to.
Well,
come
let's
up
see.
short.
I used a bonus action and I used my movement.
Mhm.
With my action, I would like to But I used a spell, right? So okay.
You could use a
Okay.
cantrip.
I can use a cantrip. Then you said a line of 6?
Yeah, a clump in front of you of 6 of these things. All in their
Okay.
old-timey clothes, hair falling out of their scalps. The clothes are all ragged with holes in them. You can see bits of bone and intestine frozen and hanging out of the front.
Okay.
Delicious.
All right. Well, then I just, I'm going to use everything I got. So as she's, probably just lost some momentum, she's just going to say, nope, just like one from Maeve. And she's just going to hand straight out and a firebolt straight at one of them, maybe in the middle. Hopefully, maybe be able to break them apart and keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me your attack.
+5. So I'm going to roll in there.
Wow.
That is an 18, so 23.
23 will hit. Absolutely.
Give me good damage. 4 fire damage.
4 fire damage. Doesn't matter. As you hit them, they light up on fire. You start to see extra bits of them begin to melt and fall off in the pieces. And indeed, they do sort of, split apart, trying to get away from the one in the center who's really on fire. Anything else, Robin?
That is all I can do.
All right. All 6 of them shamble up onto you.
Oh my gosh. Kill him with fire.
I'm pretty sure 4 of those hit. Is this 16 hit you, Robin?
A 16?
A 16?
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay.
Wow.
4 of them come forward, and as you begin to see them leaning in to jump on you, suddenly a huge stone figure steps in front of you as he puts his arm out, almost in an exact opposite of when he crushed you. He takes all 4 into his body as you stop and look up, barely silhouetted against the night sky, and the snow coming down is your Steve.
Did someone pay to Steve?
See a 10-foot tall statue in my life.
Steve,
as he intercepts, giving you a +5 to your AC. What does that get you to?
That gets me to
Okay.
17.
17. Okay, one of them is going to get by him and still hit you, but only one. 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Got it.
He takes the rest of all of these bounce off of his stone frame, doing absolutely nothing to him. They might as well be flies, as he stands between the 2 of you. It is now his turn.
Yay,
Oh.
Steve. Yay, Steve.
With a 24, the other arm, boom, like a bunch of bowling pins, he slams his arms into the group. Ooh, taking 3 of them down to the ground. Another one flies off into the darkness. You're not even quite sure where it went. He stops, looks down to you and says, "Run." Turns around and starts to head back to help the rest of the group. All right. Off from the side, now coming in around behind, the rest of the 4 of you that are back there see they're beginning to gain up behind you, but they don't reach you yet. Around from the other side at the back, they're now closing in on all sides, as 2 more groups, 2 from one side and another 6 from the other, begin to close the ranks around you. We're back up to Neb's creatures. Neb, 2 of them are still there.
Mm-hmm.
Only one is going to hit with a 17.
Yep.
3 bludgeoning damage.
That was just enough as it smacks me, and then she's just standing there in her regular form in the snow. She's like, I was enjoying that.
Neb, immediately
Me too,
there's more space now between you and these 2 around you, but now you can look over and see your friends, your allies just off to the side, as these creatures begin to they were looking up and their heads slowly come down and take in your new size. Silas, you're up.
Silas is going to try something. Basically you see Silas reach into a pocket and he pulls out the mirror shard, an illusory version of the mirror shard. He amplifies his voice and says, "Hey, is this what you're looking for?" And then he's going to chunk it, and he's going to make the illusion look like it sticks and wedges into Steve's head.
Okay.
And he's trying to draw a lot of attention to this. So he's like trying to see.
It's a fake version. Do we think you threw the real one?
don't know. He's just trying.
Okay. I don't even know what I was rolling. I was just like, let's just see what I roll about whether these things like this. I kid you not, just because this is hilarious. And, you know, Alicia, I rolled 3 2s. No joke.
What?
I rolled 3 D20s
What
and rolled
is
3
happening?
2s.
That's gotta mean something good.
You
I
pull
hope.
it out. Every eye in that space turns towards it as you boomerang it toward and make it look as though it lands in Steve's head. Every single one of these things kind of turns and looks in that direction. Absolutely, you have caught their attention. Whether they care or not, we'll deal with on their turn, but you've absolutely caught their attention. Anything else, Silas?
And then I'm booking it.
You're booking it. Okay.
We've got to go.
You're going to take 2 op attacks. They're both going to miss as you dart away from your 2 and begin to head straight towards Steve and this break that he has made in the horde. Fairuza.
Okay, so Fairuza, she's gonna go in the same direction she was going before, but she's missing her axe. She reaches up, so she's still raging.
Yes.
She's gonna reach up to her glasses, and she's like, "I don't think I need these anymore." And she's gonna break out the glass lens, but she's gonna put the empty frames back on her face anyway. She's gonna crush them in her hand, and as she's doing that, they become like electrified, sort of the little shards of the eyeglass. And she's literally just gonna throw them at the I wish I could like describe it, but the one that's standing like sort of kitty corner front near Neb, I guess.
Sure. You want to clear Neb's path, basically.
Yes. So
Yep.
she can go. So she's gonna throw it, and I'm going to use the mechanics of like dagger, I guess.
Yeah,
So let's
absolutely.
see. All right. So I'm gonna use.
If you flavor in my game, you can do whatever frick you want. So
Yes.
flavor it like that, and like, yes, I say yes.
Okay. See.
I'm
20,
so easy.
20.
Yes. I mean, you can roll damage if you want to, but
Yeah.
but-
It's like this. Get a lighter out.
these
Okay,
you
so that's
take out your
1d4.
glasses, pop the glass out. I mean, it's the most metal thing any of you have ever seen. She crushes glass in her hands and then like throws these like electrified pieces of glass. Neb, you're standing there suddenly a person again and looking at this thing in front of you that cocks its head and begins to lunge forward until everything kind of slams into its body, these little pieces of electrify. And again, right in front of you explodes. Again, things flying away from you this time instead of towards you, landing onto the ground away from you. Anything else, Fairuza?
No, that's it.
Are you running?
Yes. Oh,
You're following
She's
Silas.
also going to be looking, like as she's running, she's looking for the baby.
The baby, yes. You're running away from 2, so you're going to take 2 ops. I'm pretty sure they're both going to miss, though. Does a 14 probably doesn't hit you?
No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay. You don't take either of those op attacks as you rush forward again towards Steve ahead. Those 2 are right there. They start to shamble in the direction of Fairuza, Silas, and Steve. They're not going to make it, though, in this turn. Neb, you are up. You've still got 2 around you.
Still got 2. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. You have 1. That's right.
Okay.
She took the next one out. You've only got 1.
I've
He's
got
like
1.
right behind you. You'll take an op attack if you run, but other than that,
And in front of me, in our path, is there still multiples, or did Steve bowling ball them all?
cleared. I mean, they're still there, but he cleared a path momentarily.
Perfect. I'm gonna look back at this one and go, I was having fun. And when she says fun, it's this wave comes out of her like a
Yes.
thunderclap. I needed to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 15. Please work.
That's a 2. That's another 2. So 5.
This finally works. It's going to take 11 thunder damage, and it is automatically pushed 10 feet away from me.
Yes!
I scream at this thing how angry I am that I lost my moose.
Fun. And it's almost like the breath coming out of your mouth pushes this thing backward as its arms begin to flare. Whatever hair it had left is kind of blown off of its body. It looks like paper. It is such a light little thing that kind of floats backwards a little bit, getting out of your way. You are now clear to run should you like to.
She does. There's like a 10th of a second in where she just gives herself like this really proud, yeah, and then she runs as fast as her little legs will take her.
All right, you're making your way up towards Steve. Maeve.
Yeah.
I dashing toward the home.
Yeah, running your way forward. As you're running, this voice continues to speak in your head. Hear me, dearest. You are getting closer. Remember our bond and trust in me. As you make your way up closer to Steve. Anything else you want to do?
I don't know what they want from me.
All right. You gonna dash, or you gonna keep going past Steve? You're gonna stick around there because you have enough to do it.
To get all the way.
Well, I'm saying you have within your movement, you can make it up to where Steve is. If you
Okay.
still have an action and a bonus action, if you want.
Yeah, I'll get up towards Steve.
Okay. Yeah, you're there.
I just want to get. I mean, the goal is to get our path toward home.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you want
So
to go
if
your
I'm
your
dashing,
next
if that
bit?
takes a dash to get there, then I'll.
Great. You continue to run through. You miss, down
Multiple
this,
Maeves
Yeah,
dashing.
multiple
There's 3
Maeves
Maeves
dashing.
dashing around.
down this corridor that Steve has created, just like a bolt of tall, streak of light, just moving through the center of it, showing everybody else the way to go. As you get down almost to the end of town, you can now see the fire in the train just beyond the station. It's not so far away now in that direction. Anything else, Maeve?
No,
Okay.
no one else is hearing that. No one.
And Silas is just saying, well, that was new. Seeing all the Maeves.
Yes, all the Maeves running. Robin.
Robin is, Steve, I love you. And she's just gonna keep that. She's gonna run her movement, and she's gonna
Yes.
cast Expeditious Retreat and
Okay.
dash, and she's just whatever she can do. She is running straight to the train, and as far as she can get to that door, because in her mind, and I think she believes everyone else will think this too, like if we get the shard in, maybe the magic of the town and all the zombies will die, kind of thing. That's her
Okay.
thought process.
You begin running, moving as fast as you can. Steve is there again, taking a swipe at any of these creatures that are nearby, clearing this path. Are all of you running?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All
looking at the
5
same
of
time.
you, as fast as you can. Yes, Fairuza, as you are running, please make a perception check.
Oh no! I was like, oh no, no, no.
Silas
Yes.
is saying as we're leaving,
Yes.
just in case Steve understands, he's like, Steve, I promise we'll be back, but hold him as long as you can.
Okay.
Well, back, Steve. No, come with us.
Silas does not agree.
Neb does not agree, but that's okay. We'll scream at him together.
Fairuza, what was your perception check?
I'm
We need to save our
18
Steve.
because I'm
An
+2 in
18.
perception.
As you're running, and your headlamp, your torch, everybody else's lights, I mean, it is crazy how dark everything is, but your light is scanning right and left. You catch a glint, a little glint of light off of what you believe to be your hammer, your gavel, your axe, about
She's gonna-
30 feet off the trail in the wrong
She
direction.
has to. She has to.
You turn, moving away from the group off in that direction. You're just able to make it and swoop it up as everyone else is beginning to get on the platform. You all get up on top of the platform, turn back looking for Fairuza, who is lost in the darkness. Fairuza, you can just see the light of the train. It's about 60 feet away. To your left, you see more of these creatures beginning to approach. From this moment, Maeve, now in your mind, again, hear me, dearest. You are getting closer. Remember our bond and trust in me. Be kind to the fox when most he growls, and follow when you hear my raven's call. Fairuza, what would you like to do?
Book.
You start running
She's
through
gonna, like,
darkness.
Rage, so that she
The
has
rest of you are
further
looking
rage.
out. All you see is her headlamp just like wildly flying through the darkness as you make out these small little shadowy shapes that are starting to move towards you. Those of you up on the platform, what do you want to do?
I'm going to move to the very edge of the platform
Yes.
where I think she and Steve are coming to, and I'm
Yes.
going to prepare to yell at stuff again to try to make a path. Come on, both of you. Come on, come on, come on.
Run, run, run. Are you and Robin, Silas, Maeve?
Silas
Robin's
is
just-
going to get the train going.
Okay,
And
Silas
Robin's
moves
going to
towards
the door.
front of the train. Robin, you're going to the door, back
To
to
the
mirror.
room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neb, you're waiting on the platform, ushering Fairuza along. Fairuza, you're much faster than these creatures, but they are getting closer and closer. You step up on the platform. They're about 50 feet away and slowly, steadily coming closer, clumping more and more together. The dozens and dozens of townfolk now beginning to kind of clump together and press ever closer and closer to this train. Silas, you get up to the front, you begin starting to shovel coal, and you realize you heard a little bit about how to run this train, but you don't really know. Maeve, where are you?
I'm trying to get onto the train.
Okay, you gonna go
But
to the engine?
I want
or
to
you-
turn back and I
yeah.
want to call for Steve.
You're gonna call for Steve?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Are you heading into the train, or are you heading to the engine? Where are you sort of heading?
I'll head to the engine because
the
I
engine.
probably
Okay.
need to go.
So as Silas
Here.
is beginning to shovel more and more of this wood and
Gonna start
trying to get
Getting
everything
my
started,
switches and things.
as you lean out of the engineer's window calling for Steve, you don't see him. You're not sure where he is. He's lost in the darkness. He has no light, nothing to show
And
you where
Silas
he
is just saying, like, he will be fine. He has
we
found
have
us
a headlamp,
before.
right?
You do, but he is outside of
the train, though.
the
has
train.
a-
Yes, the train.
I
up at
want
the
to get
front.
that up and going as much as
Okay.
possible so Steve can find.
Okay. As it's going, the electricity is running. You find the lever that makes sure that uncovers the front of it, blaring light out front. You are making this train as conspicuous as you possibly can. Fairuza, you ramp yourself up onto that platform. You all slide onto the train into that thing as these
Is
creatures
Steve
begin.
there? Has he made it to the thing?
No, Steve is not there.
Do I
do
see
not
him at
know
all?
if
Because
he
I'm
is.
staying on the platform until I
Give
see
me a
him.
perception check because you can see further.
Okay. That's a 19.
A 19. You can see 30 feet in this darkness. Not very well, but you can see shapes. You see the gray horde of ice creatures that are now absolutely, there's no way off this train platform any longer. And you do not yet see Steve.
Can I scream out one more time before I run onto the train and
You
just
can, of course.
I'm just gonna anything that's in front of me within 15 feet needs to as I'm gonna yell Steve, and that is gonna force anything within 15 feet that Constitution saving throw.
Wow. That's a 1, a 7, and a 6.
All right.
Plus 3, but yeah.
They
all the hordes, all the groupings.
They take 19 thunder damage and are pushed.
A good
Away.
6 of them shatter right, in front of your eyes. You watch as they start to blow up in front of your face. The rest of them are pushed back, some of them stumbling over each other like a mob that's lost their minds. While this is happening, Robin, you have run into room A.
Yeah.
It is warm in room A. There is a strong scent of wood logs burning as you approach the mirror.
Robin's just going to look back behind her shoulder. I wish I wasn't alone at this moment, but I have to do it. And Robin is going to place it in.
You place the shard within there. It's almost like the seam knits up. You see a quick flash of a face. She leans forward, looks at you, and in your mind, you hear a small voice say, I know you. I know what you are. You are a child of Éarte. At which point the train begins to chug forward. Neb, Fairuza, you grab onto the edge, looking longingly into the darkness. No sign of Steve as the train pulls out of the station. And with that, we will say goodnight. Thank you all for being here and playing with me this evening. Have an amazing holiday season.
Steve's fine. They weren't even hurting Steve. Like he wasn't even taking any.
Oh
I'm still gonna worry.
And please remember that life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale. Good night, everybody.